Early afternoon, 1:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, November 7th, 2022. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I wanted to go deeper into Algorand, into its atomic transfers in Layer 1. We'll cover this. We'll cover the Algorand chart. Likely then I'll go to the intro, and then we'll get into it further. If you want to see a Litecoin update, I shared what I shared. It's like a 3-minute and 24-second update. It'll be uploading probably around the same time as this. It's for Summer. I call her my Litecoin chick. She's in my lives all the time on Twitch, and she's a fan as well. And I have a Dogecoin and You channel that I do an update every couple days to the ones who ask me questions. I basically do it on response only. So if somebody asks me questions, I'll do an update on Dogecoin, Shiba, or coins in the Ethereum protocol, basically. So I did that for her, and I'm sharing a little bit of bonus content on this station as well if you're a fan of Litecoin. So look out for that update. It's only a 3-minute and 24-second update. Other than that, let's get into this. We'll also cover XLM and Digibyte in this update. In my update later this afternoon, we'll do IOTA, HBAR, and backed XRP as well. I like to hit everything. We'll also look at XRP, obviously the chart in this. But we've got to cover the ISO coins and the ones in the Internet of Things. If you're watching me, you can understand the multitude of new updates that I'm releasing, the expansion of my XRP Future Millionaire YouTube channel, and the expansion into the ISO coins, and it's going to be spectacular. Please, I implore you, hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're watching, and share this on social media, because we can get more people in here. You don't have to hear the bullshit. They don't have to hear the FUD. And they're actually going to understand what's going on in this upcoming flip with the digital system. I've not lied to you one time. I told you with the XRP case 2023 at best and 2021. And as time goes on, the more credibility I've gained. So if you want a great environment to not only get the charts, but to also get the updated information on the ISO and the protocols, not just, oh, here's what you should buy, but here's what you're buying, how to buy it, and why you're buying it, and also where to buy it. But you need to know what's going on with what you're buying. So with Algo, atomic transfers in Layer 1. In a traditional economy, there exists a trusted or legal framework on the blockchain. Atomic transfers provide a trustless solution, and Layer 1 atomic transfers offers a secure way to simultaneously transfer a number of assets among a number of parties. Specifically, many transactions are grouped together, and either all transactions are executed or none of them are executed. Unique functionality, truly atomic. There is no need for escrow or reliance on hash-time locked contracts. This is a new way of technical execution of complex transfers that is smooth and fast. With Algorand's minuscule transaction fees, atomic transfers are incredibly low cost to execute. Supports all Algorand assets, algos, and any Algorand standard asset, and allows for multi-party transfers. And then most exciting use cases, they've simplified and expedited debt settlement, efficient match funding, decentralized exchanges when combined with Algorand Standard, Assets ASA, and Algorand Smart Contracts ASCI1, instances, settlement of a complex multi-party / multi-asset transactions, any instance of a multilateral trade. And this is what we're going to do next in our next Algorand update. We're going to go to Reckoning in Layer 1. So let's get into the Algorand chart real quick. Oops. And as we're looking at Algorand, we are up 8.22% on the day to 4356. After a mild retracement yesterday, we've now come up and hit the 200-day. We talked about this. I talked about the pivot level and how we were going to break up. Well, this was in a silent update, but I haven't covered Algo since. We talked about the pivot level, and I showed it up, but I said you choose one. So I talked about how we were in a bear trap, and the bear trap is played out. But now, let's get rid of some of this. What we're going to have to do is we're coming right back. It could possibly come to the pivot level, but the fact we created what looks to be some kind of bullish Gartley here could suggest that now Algorand already came down and did its little retracement. And as long as we don't lose the 20-day here in the 1 hour, especially the 2 hour, 2 hours is very important as well. We don't want to lose that. We wouldn't have to have a further retrace. So Algorand's either going to come back down. Let's see. Man, this is going to be tough here with Algo. Let me go into the 30-minute. It almost looks like Algo with this further drop-off right here. Man, that's going to be interesting. Because we can either, I'm going to show you two different ways we can do this with algo. And then we'll get going, because I know this is going to be a very interesting update with some of these other ones. See, we're either starting... It's going to be so tough. Why did that? It's going to be tough. Because we're either starting something like that, and this is just like it's slightly descending triangle, or we're starting like a broadening wedge here, and that's going to be interesting. So if we get rejected here, our first level we're going to have to watch, obviously, is to see if the 200 would hold here at about 4115, but then it'll come down to 3929. And there's like a real area here where it really can cross. So maybe that 39.39 level, if this does end up breaking down and not out. So very critical for algo this morning. So pay attention to that. Now we're going to do the XRP chart before I do one other thing that I wanted to cover today. Make sure to hit that like button. You got plenty of time to hit that motherfucking like button. You got about 30 seconds. So welcome back, everybody. I appreciate everybody who listened through that algorithm for the beginning of this update. I think it's very important, and I'm going to continue to do what I think you need to hear. I appreciate everybody tuning in, especially the 212 members of Tom's Army. Would greatly appreciate, and it would make me the happiest person in the world, as my goal is to get one new member of Tom's Army a day. Unfortunately, I've been failing at my goal, as we've only had one new member in the last 6. Maybe that's indication of the market or me, but you know what, I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job, and I'm going to continue to put the updates out the way I feel necessary. And I do appreciate everybody who does put that faith in me. So XRP, we're up 0.72% to 0.4742. I talked about in this morning update, we need to break here and not get rejected and get back over this 47.77 area. Now it's about 47.85. We did get rejected since my morning update, and now it looks like we're making our way back down. We have held the 20 days so far. So as long as we hold the 20, we're not going to be looking for much of a breakdown. But as of right now, this doesn't look finished yet on the drop down. And if we look into a bigger time frame in the 4-hourly, we have some serious issues because we got rejected at the 200. And now, unlike the pull up, this looks like we need to come back down and do some further consolidation. And the one spot that looks like a technical consolidation area is going to be right here about that 44.5 cent area, especially if we get rejected by the 200 day. So pay attention to this look right here, because that's going to tell us everything we need to know. And another easy way to understand XRP to see, hey, do we have any kind of staying power here? Can we hold that uptrend, ladies and gentlemen? You know, if you see XRP lose right around 46.40, then it's a big problem. We're going to come down to 44, about the 445 level. That is honestly what I see when I look at these charts with XRP. XLM, this is what we talked about the last time. We talked about the bear trap when it was back here, and I showed you it could go down or up, but we talked about the bear trap. It broke out the top. Feels like a bear trap. We talked about all these different things it could do up, but I said feels like a bear trap, and it played out as a bear trap. But now it's coming into these levels, the extension pivot level. It's hit now because it's on the break back down. We got rejected by the uptrending downtrending resistance above. We talked about how that was going to be the level that we had to get over, or we're going to come right back down, and we would have to retest the breakout point. And look what's happening. We had how many times? 8 different tries to get through this bear trap, which could ultimately be a much bigger bull trap as it's playing out. But we played a bear trap, and it moved all the way up to about 11.6, but we got rejected, almost 11.7 where I was saying. It came off just shy, but we got rejected by this downtrending resistance. And now what that's done is it's left us in an area of consolidation. And the most likely scenario, if you look at this, Now we're getting rejected, or are we going to hold this as support? Right now it's holding it as support, but we've had a 4-hour bearish cross. Now the divergence is almost complete. So how much farther does this move have to go? So we're going to look at that downtrending support as our key area right now at 10.9. If it breaks 10.9, we've got bigger problems with XLM. XLM would come down to, let me go to my other XLM chart. 10.678 is approximately the first level of concern. And then we'll talk about that further, but 10.678 is where you really need to hold with XLM. And then DGB, this one's getting awfully long, this update, so I covered the main ones I want to. Yeah, okay. So I'll end it with this with DGB. So DGB, after the breakout on this uptrending support that we've talked about, even though we're in a falling channel breakout, I consider it. It could even be a bigger bear flag because we can put it in as a bear flag. But that's the resistance line that I thought was a key resistance. It's that uptrending support that we created not too long ago. And now when we get to the pivot level, you can see how we've hit it, bounced off of it. Unfortunately, we couldn't get past here, but I have a better interpretation of this for everybody. If you just look at this chart, this will make it much easier. We talked about the pivot level, and right now, we're at it again. We just can't seem to get much separation from this level. We need to break this, but we talked about how this was going to bounce up. We broke off of this retest, bounced out all the way up to our 109. 100% at that on the money. That was our resistance level that we had to break to continue this pattern. We failed, and now we're coming back down. We failed to hold the pivot level, or this uptrending support that was our pivot level break, and now we've come into the true pivot zone on the support, which is very important, which is why it's drawn in there. But now we're going to see how this plays out. It's either going to hold it, we're going to come back up, and we're going to bounce in between here and the 0096 level, or if this doesn't hold at the 91 level, we're coming back down to 0087. Make sure to hit that like button. If you want to trade like I do, look in the video description below. Join Tom's Army there as well. You can join me at MEXC, BitGet, or Uphold, and also join Tom's Army.